Maneva na sema PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de osia dem yopo.
It's back on, and that is what I would say, because so where we were now where we are now, there has been a massive appreciation in all aspects of our economic life. The numbers look good, so we're just hoping that we'll be able to build on that confidence. Once again, will return to the average and the ordinary Ghanaian, because our culture is the only thing I threaten your security, your democracy, and everything. So as long as Ghanaians are getting along and the economic numbers look good, we just hope it's able to translate for human for so that at the end of the day, the average Ghanaian will attain economic independence, and for me, that is the most important thing.
If Ivan free Pandai, the Pandai run home comma, by the course of parliament and minority, near me was more year causing destruction and other things. Because of stay of execution, no, my file appeals court, and I think wiki yamuna Supreme Court by say electoral commission should hold on the 31st rerun arrangements or so that assembly stay of execution will make some a baby. What do you see?
Yeah, I think that I know me who you are. Say, hey, your fans saying we are in a new dawn. Because oh yeah. Sir, opposition party back court now Benyana which is grant Nimos 5 Unanimous says it got to a time the court in the eyes of the people became so dirty to the extent that Ghanaians didn't want to have anything with the court. And now you drew by a Supreme Court at the ruling, but now there is this appreciation. And for me, I think that is a good sign, because that is all that we have been fighting for. But it also brings me back to the question of a press conference after your marking in Crow for no more year when the earlier verdict came out. Brandon, the court said the court, the kangaroo court, or more work towards advancing the cause of government. So the question maybe saying the ruling by a kangaroo court, this ruling by and they are celebrating on all platforms. I catch a man for say, what's your mind up as a man from for serious? You see, you need to be very candid, very truthful, and a very principled person. Say, adopt those near man out there with you, draw respect from people, because you don't shift position because today the issue is against you. You change your tongue when it goes the other way. Abasa, I tell the kind of person you are. So when you better can say court to the ruling back in constitutional matters. Say offer for stay of executioner, state of executioner. It does not automatically operate to stay unless the court sit on it and hear it. That is a normal in private cases. You can have the presumption say, oh, once you have applied, it should stay. But in constitutional matters, because you see the country is running, the machinery of government is running. You cannot seek to halt it based on a mere application. What if somebody just go and stop it application? What has happened? There should be reasonable basis. That is why whenever constitutional is in play. Now you cannot just say, oh, I apply for stay of execution, and for that matter, no, the proceedings should automatically stay. No, you can't do that. For instance, we'll be sorry. My injante president, Minjante, you could asem no. Your friend is saying, yes, a president, but you are Juma. That particular way, no, the person mistake, no more president, no, on stop it cannot, because you create a constitutional vacuum, you create a crisis which the constitution, your court will not allow you unless you have reasonable basis. So the court must move in to hear the application. And that's exactly what has been done. So for me, I think that it's a win. I actually once again and Tokwana Yamubi Koya about your judiciary. I am so dirty and I'm for Nigeria woman. And I'm on various social media platforms. I'm a commentary. I'm for Rania. Who say Yambrangu, because confidence once again is returning. And I'm also charging your friends and that. Chief Justice said, "Oh, you might." In as much as yes, I near my way, I think that the owners lie on him, because my culture says, "What kind of constitution now?" Or see, justice emanate from the people and shall be administered in the name of the Republic for the people. And do Quatana Court na would yasema and yaw dear, and this near mana Supreme Court, am I that sharp departure? I am a Ghana for and omonya that confidence and hope once again every time, you know. That thing should also reflect in the lower court. Because now no na catch a man for say in the whole case of that Lumba issues here by you know. So what's an answer they take home I'll be your free say your court, especially the high court, to use the opportunity to go Modimasia. Yeah, what's in China Ghana now was so I think say the Chief Justice has a responsibility to ensure say Ghana for being confidence our your court to not ruling free her bar. Ghana for once never being said this ruling is a stupid ruling. And you cannot stop Ghanaians from expressing their opinion on matters like this. Court to know Jumana say put society together or making sure that society does not integrate in that forum. But when the person cannot even make sense out of it. Yeah, you should know that there is a problem. For instance, I know ruling be by our say judge na amani ruling a way a man for coffee na without motion without anything, then he calls back and says may vary the ruling. And yes, you can vary your ruling, but the thing is nyansa should apply, because you cannot tell somebody say uncle for 20 billion within 2 hours. Now that motia hono ko jiska na ba na so things that you see, we need to be very careful. Say some of these things, you know, in such a way say sa confidence na Ghana for you more subscribe to your court, you know. Because all of us will be in danger if Ghana for lose trust and confidence in the judiciary, because that is the last resort. The only way I'm a chese a court. And the Drew Baby who said, Obi here who said, court to me and the Papa be free me. The person will not go, and we will create a chaotic society. You understand? So I think the Supreme Court has really done well, but I think the lower court, not lower court, but the high court. I think in the past now, me catch us appointment and the ketwa. And I think the Chief Justice, so many need that, no money, no making sure say obe tracking near my air cost because obi on the juma die na public confidence and to sustain, you know, that person I think we need to make sure say sad in year free because I can't say court today see in as much as you sit in your chair as a judge, you know, and now mama and now papa there. You are not dispensing justice for your family. You are dispensing justice for the people of this country for the sake of holding society together. Society integration and cohesion. That is the whole essence of law. As a byproduct of philosophy, it must operate on the lines of fairness. It must operate on the lines of reasoning, common sense, and as a form. And people are visiting Obia father their way there's no clarity. It doesn't make sense. What the two young so much as I would never be I think the courts are not supposed to give that chaotic verdict in as a forum. We should be very consistent and make sure we build the public confidence and trust in some of these things. The other way, now boom, the court becomes the last resort of your problem. Because you take Roma, you who near my niso, yeah, you take Roma say near my cost where your court and send some Ghana for the court to fell a Drew baby. Just imagine such case here, quite a high profile political case between the NDC and the NPP, and as our ruling way by and Cadena Bessie Kroma say. I think we should be very careful. That is why I am charging the Chief Justice. It's not just an administrative head. Some of these things are also when you come. No making sure that every single ruling be free court to be ababiano. Ebe sound. Sabi adwimu da ho anyansa wom Ghana ni benya hotoso wom. Go woman ruling saying na se nipa ni hotoso wom a wo man na ka say ade na wo deliver na nyaw ma me de nyaw papa de. It is for the people of this country. It should bind us together. Let people have confidence and trust, and that is the only way you bet me sustain as a country. So I think that so far so good. The Supreme Court has done well by giving us this particular verdict. And what it is, we are all waiting for the court to hear the appeal case. Or we now say I don't know the fact of the matter not pointed to the contrary. No, because about we will move on with our lives. But for Ghanaians to pause, which I said they have respect for the court. That is why the Supreme Court ruling by Obia pause. But near my trust anywhere. who the ruling beba say, oh, you're stopping way, but people will not respect you. It will cause agitation and rebellion. That is why I am emphasizing on the need for us to work towards making sure, say, your court to be me again that reputation, that respect for themselves. Now, yes, I mean, I'm a judge and I'm at a court and I'm a pen. No, you can't do that. A country is not your property. I think we need to dispense justice in fairness, in reasoning. Sabaya, I bet me bind the society together, and for me, that is the way we need to go.
All right, so that's on the Pandai Supreme Court ruling. Na yen share yet yesim say me who say I can't say no more NPP presidential race no more I am be sure say
yeah, but follow me.
Now this week the more chain. I said weeks you know my yen months or my yen na week here we are trying to punch lines in promise and I have to try my won't ya kabo mo honorable attachia wa can be was say on the unviolent person like Kennedy Japan to be a president. And after so or no ni chocho mucho honorable adjusafo so akike bia che so utimi say ba umi aside no this week o mayi romo ho so on be japa enti Ivan kan ni nyina bom and after da ba umi na democracy or the welfare database ba na no na say scholarship ni loans and so say job employment no ho no mo de be find e bia o pese o ko police I want take because database wo baby no no mo di ye adwuma no wo ye party member na wo di wo ho de a police immigration amina abu na obi ye bi no wonte na ba concentrate wo to create jobs for party members nti wo de fa free attach ya ha be adjust for wa afa be
yeah I think it's sad watching the movie that is playing. NPP for each kind of for. Oh, that's a way a comic movie no movie, and as they continue to show us the movie, one thing that's significant is nipa koso egu na nim ase telling Ghana for ho an hu hia say obadwen krasa wo de tumi be kwa komo mo ko nipa no mo kasa no utie kasa de matimi say ebi wo ha adwen mu ye ha nsem no mo ka no utie bi ho atimi say nipa we nye nipa ese wo di nipa anim whole lot my culture say MPP assistance now nipa no mo contest ni nyina nipa me free say enka obetimi lead party ne yakwabna je Japan. Because on there somebody when it comes to some of these things here, at least you cannot associate him with, but the party doesn't see those things. So we see some na koswa, yeah. So we have obi to say when they start here, get we am for the saying, adwasafo. So we see some buy no gina radio so TV so okeka ye nyina na utimu say sabi adwene ya adwene mu no, and these are people who lead. Omanya, you should be worried because so we in seminar all kind or say or not as a person second Japan or to abamana or no corner now one corner nima family and friends in Tino your friends are Kennedy management and obi a wadwe mu don all can same way you are not speaking against the person na who your campaign woman na amano because you are affirming the fact say or no so family and friends so na baby a wo gina wo campaign man there to their family and friends no so what are some American say and this are some but me anya me nwanwa because obi a follow the politics no kan fa so ya ne ma am free bi mu hoko okotena America ogina TV so ya interviewer and then oka America for brofo ochena oka UK for brofo just say wotimi say odi ne ho agro like I say obi a na ho te no onim the oil na chance opportunity be na aba na be MP. So I think say enya me won say do me kwabre MP for na free because you cannot be playing and toying on your fence as a critical seat I would didn't say munu na for. So I think say the oil ni nyina reflect who she is and me enya me won e kire say me da be me kan politics no atonsuom and you know anybody at all can just pop out of anywhere and then I take the stage and do whatever. Take over now, man, for take over. Who soon so na ye here na adwendwen out to Ghana for because if one elected responsible people to helm of affairs to manage their affairs, this is what you get. That is why I keep telling people say if you go to a failed state, there are no your friends are victims. We are all sponsors and accomplices because the person is there by the virtue of the fact that you gave that particular person a power. But what's not say na adwene who say nipa no competent enough because nemo more than a DTV so some mo keke nyina kira say be adwene mu ha. So what's in China if you are watching and these are people yet yes my campaigns seeking to convince people. And is this political party a serious party? Candidates in us are they serious candidates? Because I dream and I'll prove everything to you. Then Canada Japan goes on air. Kokachira man for say attach here did not them. Now attach here no or di one grand some of Becano. Now your friend is saying on any share Heathrow Airport and some more come for Kufa home bet and say way I call it such rather. See, yeah, we are president. The secret you learn as my better catcher penny. And this is a person who cannot even hide anything. Because when you attach here, it doesn't matter. Who decided to bury it at the time. This is not a time for you to say it. It means if you are president, it tells you say you are not fit, you are not competent. Because you mean to me, Matana, every your phone show, I'm not a simple. You bet me, I can send baby. One can't want them, a damn no benya, send Perabata. Oh, be able to win the answer. Oh, be able to win the answer because you don't do that. And some you can in confidence and you should stay in confidence. The very moment that Baba wants to reveal, you know. You are not just revealing to spite that person, but you say, who's a revealing, because when you see whatever that happens, you know, this is you are not supposed to come on TV and because and I wouldn't see and some are catching me who did you at them. But you might be able to who's a what you and such person was the Antama or Maya Kunda and Famano. When you go and learn state secret, no America. One of the American president, by almost when more or Sano into the White House told him the history of or said the whole weekend the TNA. Because the secret you learn and you need to die with them. You understand? And the president now, yede akonya kwa command no, ochani bufua. State secret ni nyina na okeka. And as I know, that is why I'm saying that we need to put competent people in place. You understand? And these people, they are just ridiculing the NPP as a political party because they are just advertising nothing but ignorance. They are advertising incompetence, naivety. Just say Jessica na and some hunubi na ba na yenkonko dimbi. And they also tell you say you making sika. Sika before politics, you know. Na mu ye billionaires. It is this cheap politics that has brought you money because some of you were dished out big government contracts. Now, if you not able to out on tomatoes, you know, your term government contract, na dia mana. So that is a very stupid justification for anybody to sit somewhere and say, and I'm a pick up the my way ordinary, no. So we are teaching now what child and Kabenya pick up the Kakubobi. Business is not more, you know. Your first say the Panado send for America about Chroma air business or moving to pick up 20 at Chamobi. Unless you do other business there. What I say? So this nonsense of my brother that then I say for them. These are all nonsense. I'm not sure say any reasonable person will buy into some of these things. So I think they need to focus on their strength because a good saying leader and a obia or thrive on his strength, not on the weaknesses of his opponent. Because come tell people what you're good at, what you can do. But this back and forth trading, because this is a political party that was suffered the most humiliating defeat in the history of this country. People want once again to connect with you. And then this is the kind of campaign you're doing. You are dispersing all the intellectuals. They are more foot soldiers and nibaje. Because that is what they want to appeal to their base. But besides, can you convince any sensible person out there to come to your party? And unless I'm confident you never see Ghana for Abra, the remnant of what they just did. Are quite obvious Ghana for Kai. So I think cool heads must prevail in the NPP. Nippon or Bacam Betty is no more or Matuna Baby. Say President Kufose, they don't engage him anymore. And now here, Council of Elders, so-called Council of Elders, and so on. Obia taking position. So it's a Obia respect Obia and a party leadership Nankasa Obia Obebi Ojina. And there's no neutral person or commanded that respect and aura. I'll bet me calling these people to order say enough of this nonsense. Focus on your strength, campaign, and let people vote for you based on this. Yes, men can't say Ebin Sida. Yeah, go into elections in some breba, but this thing is taking a nasty twist. And for me, it's really embarrassing. It's not advancing anything. You see, these are hard messages. Obi and Kancho, but some of us will tell you, say, it's really embarrassing. And I think that the party leadership na party leadership boy there your friends a general secretary in kasa sabi ba waka bebre nkrofo no mo ye na krobia mu no and the party chairman yes why na benim so mo hwehwe no mo hunu dia so and when the party na dem I think the NPP need a serious reconstruction sabi betimi remain as a competent political party we go parliament the AC one so the same thing because they are fanya mark and then choboy of opposition way no and 21st century and find politics sa choboy politics na yen sabotage yen say no people will not take you serious so I think that leadership more party more tin champion for no matena party impen no should come and calm things down because if they allow these hot-headed individuals to continue this buffoonery muguso muye ya ombewe no the party will be in pieces because omo chance omuye we kwatena TV so acha enkwase akeka nko na ya bie weti so me question is say ya koto oba na nipa na ya bie niti so no say wo party at the to me man say only the party na what will you do will you go and campaign for nipa na ya bie niti so no they also onu obi ada no so onu so no ya koto oba man na will you campaign for the person what are some American so I think say all these things are very nasty and they are really first you know now your politics and a tribal ethnocentric familiar kind of way no and you know your son nonsense will be swallowed but these people don't know say there has been a radical shift from that particular line of politics and Ghana for are reasonable they look at issues and they are now having a debt to GDP are reduced inflation reduced to 6.3 or share your friend is saying dollar yeah I stable these are near my back Ghana ni akoma kasa aban na otese no or yeah the papa o enti memfa me support man no na you make sure say bear the right thing not somebody sitting at the trenches embarrassing themselves even in opposition because what lose power man for expect senka Moba tenase na ma George just to ensure say cool hair will prevail no but the cost nyina a party leadership na kofa because you better catch us say we good political analyst you know very well say we don't go into elections after such a humiliating defeat a party no structures nyina fracture we no you come and say yeah top up approach it's unreasonable so if you do that this is what you get because say people are already bitter.
Yeah.
The course were behind no in some shaman for and the who are the exhibition of that in some shaman for bono. But you as a sensible leader as I say, oh, let us do bottom up approach. So by the time I patch here we know I will do top one now of course I think for the top one this is what you get. So for another day you will transmit the chaos at the top to down. At the lower level, and there will be no stability in the party. This is just common sense. But Obi and why not just say OT because I'm me Mubia minti Obia kind of Abraboni and no more the power no. Sanya mana no more pejadiable position and they are not learning anything. I am very disappointed in the NPP as a political party, to be very honest, because I expect that the NPP that I know in the past, now even as much as you like them or you may not like them, no, they will opposition party no more can be constructive and criticism then as a forum by another Goro Boys party and say so you don't even know why they lead the party you don't even know who is competent enough and the candidate they are selling no obian who have a nima ya benya hotoso say Medigana shanensa because ba we in the track record at the economic messiah area na or your friends or IT who advert baby we dwene for economy no and under him the economy of this country suffered the most humiliating defeat in the history of this particular. Your friends say down 10. Chroma say rating agencies, Bosnia born and as a forum. Nothing was working for us, and the verdict was given by the people of this country. So if you think you can polish this person and bring him back, you're only fooling yourself because Ghana for Niama why how he messed up with the economy, and they told us that our economists and literature teacher and a historian, so almost say Mahama a historian communicator. If these two people can turn the economy around within 1 year, it means that what economists will soon fast what has happened American. So some of these things not transnational we had that deep constructive analysis. Now you come to the realization say they are really embarrassing themselves, and for me, I am not surprised, but I'm very disappointed. Say even in opposition, the NPP cannot realize this. They own their supporters. Nema we will cause when you food soldiers and mama boajo so. But if you think that food soldiers never win no elections, sabi what give more because Ghana has a cultural no political party and the core supporters and when in the power you always need the neutral people in the middle. The average Ghanaian are reasonable. Obey to me, I convince obi amana to abama wo nipa ya omo budget so already they are already converted that you don't need them to convert anybody, you understand? But can you appeal to reasonable minds out there to come to your aid? Because Ghana for at this time say agro politics they people are looking for real development. So I cross the politics na we anyway ya na me to dan ma we na we say na nyem cross say ma ya yeti wi ase ye papa mo bi nipa na ono ye papa na ko gina bonten koka ade a me hu ni say yem cross say mo asase so no oboa obi a let the person na oboa no nka ho asem anya wo na ko gina TV so radio so na me boa we na nti de boa na oboa no wo de wunim nipa do mo boa wo what asem wom wa obi nko gina TV so nko ka say me na me boa no let the person come so free say wa boa na mpa let the person come and tell the world say oh me wa ha because ya na boa me then animonyam beba so but anya wo na wabo obi na akogina TV so kwa advert solo ni nam ho kura he ne ka me na mto ma no minimum ko nidi obi a hu so ye kwase ni what asem na make so I think say this kind of politics no yetimi mature ne morphe from here na Ghana for adwenu mu kosora enema bi wo ho na nipa no ka wo be hu se nipa no enyanyansafo because me when I sit back and I watch TV sometimes mitimitie nsembia 2 minutes na majai because I'm able to profile say nipa na okasa na nimnyansa so listening to the person is a waste of time. That is what I do because you listen to people for something. You don't just listen for nothing. You understand? That is why the last time I make I say you become what you think. What you think, that's what you become. But to think, you know, you must have been exposed to something. So what you watch is very critical. And they will get exposed to. That's why I always admonish young people. So when you go to social media, don't get entangled with those stupid things. Now, a man 40 social media, or your mood, you might think that you are just watching, but about reflecting within you. You will be doing those things naturally because you've been exposed and the mind is tuned to it. Yes, so that is how it is. So I think that so you take politics seriously. Now we begin to see say for nipa na nipa na politics among mo nyam kra omo ye nipa mo ye nyansafo a these people on the political stage, you know, will also adjust and do things right. So nipa no mbe gina so mbe kasa ye ni nyina no bia begu na nim ase from adwasafo a oka say ono ye fan say Canada Japan be ye we a onya we no it is not about you and no cra say it's not even about you because about na Ghana for akoto no they are not going to vote for obi because who benya position benya for obi who benya what I said no nti adwene mu ba you will not even talk about yourself. What I say the people around you know that will be your focal point but to say oba me kwagire na nima position what be pen oko parliament then akwa ye oko gu wani asete ye ven say America ye pare just say nkwa adwene nkwa na woni tim kokwatena ba bi na amanfo ehia of parliament come and represent your people now on the social media TikTok na se for no wotimi say nkwa adwene no aso what I say na obi so gina ba bi no nso to abo bam say no can some I see a catching nipa na se for now for me I reflected the current NPP the AC no nyina no amaka say even Kwabena Japan as a candidate or nam ho na sabi onu hu na sanse mu no ewuntimi associate no you don't even see talk bio that's not part of the exactly that tells you say party no are jumping over reasoning and omonam wuram because I'm not an MPP Kwabena Japan I'm not a sympathizer but as a normal neutral person me when nipa no mu gina ho ni nyina na me ha on the nipa but say oh and to move away from all these things, and let me give it to this gentleman. At least he's coming from the old block. He has no alliances affiliation to what happened. It's young try and he will give the party a new face. But Enam said common sense is not in the party. They don't even see him. Or Muguni says you are a French person. Hey, Ghana. And politics in Sana Baba. So Obia interest. So I think that
Fabamia anyway.
Amudia
welfare database.
Oh. Yeah, now never we say ya ma unfie nwatwe be vice president. One kai welfare. Economy no tete pansam no. Economy no to the sense ye nam na ye bobosia. Bosia no kwai ye koba omo so omo maye bi. All the inflation could do say somewhere 53 and some ever 24. This is Bawumia track record. What be the vice president for 8 good years? Akufo-Addo seeded you with authority to manage the affairs of this country. What happened? It was very embarrassing. So I think it's much ado about nothing. My culture said Bawumia this was a profile now. You be profile na we no. One vote through 38 about 27. And they should not even waste their time because he has demonstrated nothing but sheer incompetence. While demonstrated clearly say, yeah, they are not a turn keke. But you can't say, nipa edi to me a man on your juma. The track record na economy no jano hono. It got to a time of for 4 good years, Dr. Bawumia could not speak about the economy. He was advancing IT. It got to a point we are seeing your friend is saying Ghana card. A mobile money interoperability, a single platform, a vice president. These are common things even ministers supposed to speak here. But that was his crime card and all the economy was in crisis. He could not even speak about the economy. So what is his essence? Welfare there. Na vice president no he. What was his role? Because vice president and a finance minister now in the realm of affairs, who is supposed to be powerful. So it means that if Ken Ofori-Atta was powerful, you were just a CC running around. No, Bia, you are not a man of yourself. No, can you be asked Ghanaians here for 2 million around your mind? Or China, you didn't get through some. I pack you to stand behind the bench. And so I don't make us more common, you know. And they think that they are speaking to Ghana minds. But I'm telling them, say Ghana for can seminar, a kota dream, manipa analyze it. Who's a seminar can yansa woman to back as I know. None pana profile, as a winning yansa, and as a winning yansa, and be a only yansa or Kasai taking it serious. That's exactly the point.
I'm not PENDREAM TV. Now, so far, so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.